Here, Hydrosailing Solutions. This is race number 2 of the Winter Series M32, and let's take a look at the data. So we're going to pull up. Here's the race number 2 scores, and then the speed data. So just kind of looking at this. So at Lucy's first, 6.98 on average. Arista 6.95, long shot 6.89, 6.85, 6.7, 6.8, 6.6, 6.9. So just kind of look, and you can pause right now and look through this. But the first beat, let's take a look at this. I think Black Seal was over on that start, so they ended up going back. So they'll be a little bit slower up that first beat. But Lucy 6.45. Fastest through the water on the first leg at a 3.1 distance, 3.2, 3.1. Delta had a good 3.1, 3.14. Soka 3.3, Stanley 3.1, 3.3. So let's take a look at the first race here, first beat. Let's take a look at the start. Speed this up just a little bit. And again, down here is your start time, and which is really helpful for us. Speed this up just a little bit more. Slow this down. So right in here, very tough to be sitting here. As you can see, these guys stay pretty slow, but let's see what happens here throughout this process. If I'm Stanley, maybe I do a double tack here. Let's see what the start time is. Is at 18. 18 is start time, so this is 30 seconds to go. Ten seconds to go. So this is where the Velocitech is really such an awesome tool, the time and distance, and really trying to practice coming in and looking at meters and time as it rolls down. And I think if Black Seal was working hard, they would know that they're really close to the line with still 10 seconds to go. Obviously, Volpe is over the line. You can see here they're going to duck down and get up under the line. And we'll see kind of what happens here. And again, this is an estimate of the line based on the start angles and pings that I can look at. So let's kind of play this out a little bit more. We got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pause. So there's the start. Just a little bit exposure early on, I think, got Black Seal in trouble there, but Volpe's back down again. Soka here. Now, the thing with Soka is they're reaching down the line. You can see it takes them a long time to get back up onto the wind. And then they'll have a boat to leeward of them. Let's see how that all pans out here. I'm going to play this now. I'll get going here. Oops, sorry about that. Just let me put it back here. There we go. Speed it up here a little bit. So if we pause here, so you can see Soka's going slow, Stanley's under the bow. And that's, again, just to manage the time and distance, so you're hitting the line with your, hard on the wind, not reaching and waiting for the gun to go off. So that was just Soka getting there early, Seal getting there early, and that's the time and distance, which is where the Velocitech really, 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 really helps. That's where Seal goes. Took him a while to, fortunately, by the time they announced, took him a while to get back. So now the win. This was second race of the day. Had a little bit more right. The wind had gone a little right based off the first race. And I think all in all, it starts to settle in here pretty nicely. The current being on the left becomes a little less of an issue here. Soka's got a good lane here. Looks like speed, everything's fine. Ursta Volpe. Let's look at the future lines here and how they kind of come together. Looks like Seal's sailing a little bit higher and a little bit slower. That's where the greens, the speed comes down a little bit in the greens. But you can see here we're on a little bit of a lift over here on this side versus the right side. So just a little bit of a left phase right now. Speed it up just a little bit more. I think actually Soka passes us here. Is it? No, just behind us? Just behind us. So still very close into the game. Still, everybody, the whole fleet's really, I mean, you can see Arista's really on the ley line right now, so that's probably going to cost him a little bit of time. I think we just kind of leave bound here to stay inside the ley line. Long shot's got a little bit of a knock sailing back in here. 7-2-7 sailing really fast right in here. 7-3s, 7-2s, maybe just too deep coming back into Volpe here. So just not set up properly on there. A little bit of a lift over here. You can see just a header coming back here across a little bit. And I think that's where Soka lost a little bit coming back now. It's just a little bit more pressure up here on the right-hand side, if I remember right, and a little bit of a righty. Hope I stays high for the set. See how that works out for them here a little bit. Zoom out a little bit now. Speed things back up again. And let's see, maybe more pressure. I think these guys actually, I was still banking, I was on Lucy, still banking that there was a little more current out here. That's why I stayed a little bit outside of Arista. Let's see how long shot. Look, long shot in here. Yeah, it looks like there was more pressure that just brought these boats down. And you can see how we're much slower. They're doing 8-8s. We're doing 7-7s. But he is a little bit hot here. A little bit hot. Long shot's probably doing a little bit better job here. But definitely brought the pressure, so pressure down on this side is what happened on that downwind leg. And here, hitting the ley line is really important so that you're not low and slow. If this far out, you definitely want to just sail VMG, even if you're a little high with time to jibe. We talked about that in the last race. Yeah. Seal's done a nice job of getting back in the game here, staying in the pressure up. So almost getting right back into things. I think they passed a couple boats actually before the finish, if I remember scores properly. Everybody wanting the kind of right side of the course. Long shot goes left here. See if they make any. It looks like they're a nice little lift here. You can see a little bit of a knock. Maybe Ursa sailing a little bit too fast there. Always try to hike hard coming out of the leeward mark. Clean up. Only have one person clean up after the leeward mark. Really important to be hiking out of the box there. Soka coming back at not a great angle here. See these guys, look at Seal coming up here a little bit. Maybe sailing a little bit too high and slow actually. Definitely sailing too high, or Soka sailing too low. Low would be my guess there a little bit, but this angle seems to be okay coming back. See that? Volpe sailing a little bit low, also coming back in. Soka now long shot, and Seal all having really kind of good angles. Consistent angles, I guess you could say, relative to the boats around them. Yeah, and again, just trying to stay, Arista staying inside the ley line. Looks like somebody got outside the ley line. A couple boats got outside. But this is really what you're trying to do here, is just have a boat length or two at the end if you really want to protect the right. This way, if you do get a knock, you can take just another little dig out, versus these guys don't really have a choice like long shot overstood on that one. Seal takes advantage of a little bit. Who was that? That was somebody else. No, they come back in here. Yeah, you can see they take a little bit advantage of the little bit of a lift coming back in at the end. So I had learned I'm just going to just kind of stay close to these guys, jibe inside of them, see what happens here. Make sure long shot didn't get too far inside of us, so we're protecting there on long shot. Decided that, I don't know why we ended up jibing there. But we got a hold of them, and we'll try back again. Let's see how the downwind angles look here. Yeah, if I remember this, yeah, it was really close. What was the score again? Lucy first. Just a second. Very, very close at the finish. Speed up there a little bit more. So there's the analysis for race number 2. I will put this back up here, and then you guys can pause it if need be and review that.